Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first biannual training for new Catalyst Plus advisors, or CAs as we like to call them, who are new or just need a refresher. My name is Jennifer Rovette, and I am the recruitment manager. I will be leading you through a series of slides today so you become more familiar with specific tools and processes that will make your volunteer journey more enjoyable. I'm joined today by my colleague Puck Raffland, who is our volunteer services manager. She will speak to you today about getting prepared for your assignment and what to expect. But before we begin, in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect, we recognize our work takes place on many traditional Indigenous territories across Canada and internationally in countries where we support economic development. Acknowledging this is but one part of our ongoing reconciliation journey that we understand with sincerity and responsibility in every aspect of our work. Today, we are going to provide a lot of useful information that will assist you as you embark on your volunteer journey. We will start with a brief description of our programs and will introduce the recruitment and coordination team members. Next, we will dive into My Catalyst Plus and all the great features it provides, the assignment matching process, and applying for an assignment. And finally, we will finish up with assignment preparation, what to expect while on assignment, and a list of some of our great resources available for our Catalyst Plus advisors. Okay, so let's start with our international programs. Our flagship international program is called Accelerating Women's Empowerment, or AW for short. AW focuses on developing and strengthening social responsible supply chains in key sectors of focus, such as agriculture, natural resource management, food and beverage production, and tourism and hospitality. This is an 8-year program, and we are currently in year 5. Year 6 will be starting in April. For this program, we work in Latin America, Africa, and Asia. The second program is called the Canada CARICOM Expert Deployment Mechanism, or CCEDM program. It is a smaller 5-year program that addresses priority needs identified by national governments in the Caribbean, while also working towards strengthening and diversifying local economies. The program is currently operating in 9 countries in the Caribbean and runs until 2026. A unique feature of the CCEDM program includes the availability of hybrid assignments. These assignments are a combination of virtual and in-person components for one assignment. In Canada, Catalyst Plus works with Indigenous-led nonprofit organizations, governments, economic development corporations, and SMEs. Our work is driven by a holistic approach developed in partnership with our clients, where we prioritize Indigenous knowledge and work to ensure that our clients experience long-term benefits from development support. Through individual or group mentorship, advisory, or workshop services, we meet the specific needs of our clients in leveraging skills, completing projects, and creating plans and strategies. Our collaborative approach involves understanding our clients' priorities, recruiting the right expert to support them, and building capabilities so they are empowered and well-positioned for sustainable growth and prosperity. Okay, so now let's meet our team members. When it comes to assignment matching, there are 2 teams that will assist you to apply and submit your application, as well as get you prepared for your assignment when accepted. Since we have different programs, we have both recruiters and coordinators that work on these different programs. So let's start with recruitment. Going from left to right on your screen, we have Chloe Bougat and Ashna Feroz, who work on the AW program. Amandine Fournier recruits for CCEDM. And finally, Travis Jaycox and Paulina Gaja recruit for the Indigenous and Northern Services program. When you see the assignments in My Catalyst Plus, each recruiter will be listed, and you can contact them anytime with your application or questions. As we move to coordination, you will see we have, again, from left to right, we have Magda Sheshko, Rochelle Degnon, Pilar Alborita, and Camille Byfield, who all work on the AW program. Ashna Feroz also does the coordination for CCEDM, and Travis Jaycox and Paulina Gaja also do any coordination that is required for the INS program. You will start working with these specific officers once you are accepted for an assignment. So at this point, you have probably completed your intake process and received your Welcome to Catalyst Plus email. So many of you might be thinking, now what? So let's go through some important information and tools for you to use in order to be successful as you embark on your journey. The first tool that I would like to talk about is My Catalyst Plus. My Catalyst Plus is our online portal for volunteers and has many features that will make your journey as a volunteer more enjoyable and seamless. In 2022, we did a complete overhaul of this system, and it was one of our biggest improvements in order to streamline the recruitment process for both recruiters and volunteers. In My Catalyst Plus, you can search assignment opportunities, check out resources such as process documents, guides, country information sheets, and videos. These resources can be helpful during the recruitment process, getting ready for your assignment, while on an assignment, and even after your assignment is completed. You can also update your profile in terms of personal information and your roles, select your notification preference, upload a new resume, and change your password. Probably the most important feature of My Catalyst Plus is your roles. When we set up your account, we selected a few roles for you that we were able to pull from reading your resume. However, that was just our best guess. Now that you are all active volunteers, we encourage you to go into the system and see if there are any other roles that you wish to add and from specific sectors. To do this, you go into My Roles and Experience, which you see in the slightly gray area at the top. And you will see the roles, at first you will see the roles that we have selected for you. But if you scroll down the page a little, you will see available roles. This is where all the roles are listed from many different sectors. You know yourself and what you're capable of doing better than us. So I really want you to all go into this section and do this update if needed. Having the right roles in your profile will increase your chances of being approached for an assignment and also for you to see if you are a good match for the assignment. If you are interested in doing an assignment, either in person or virtual or a mix of the two, then you will need to visit the assignment section. And you find that section right at the top of the screen. Here you can view all the assignments that are in recruitment and can sort according to their preferences, such as country, language, or format. You will also see if there's a good match, if you are a good match for an assignment, which is indicated by a green check mark, a yellow question mark, or if you're not a good fit, a red X. This is why updating your roles is so important. The more roles you have, the more assignments your skills and experience match. Another neat feature of My Catalyst Plus is our notification preference section. Each time a new assignment comes into recruitment and you are a good match or potential match with the green check mark or yellow question mark, you will receive an email letting you know. You can decide how often you wish to be notified, in which language, the assignment type, such as in person or virtually, or for which countries. We are continually encouraging our Catalyst Plus advisors to be proactive and log into My Catalyst Plus, as this is the best way for them to search assignments, apply, and hopefully get accepted. All right, so let's talk about the assignment matching process now. So when it comes to assignment matching, there is a specific timeline which I will take you through so you have a better understanding of how our process works when you're interested in applying for an assignment. The first phase is assignment approval. During this phase, the in-country teams work with partners to create and develop an assignment. They complete the assignment application form and submit it to the program manager for approval. The assignment then goes into recruitment and can be found on My Catalyst Plus. A recruiter is also assigned to the assignment based on country, and so at this point, the assignment is in the approved status. The next phase in our timeline is search and apply. During this phase, recruiters search the database for the most qualified Catalyst Plus advisor and approaches that person to see if they are interested and available. If the volunteer is interested, they submit a letter of application to the recruiter. Volunteers can also search the assignment section in My Catalyst Plus and can apply directly to the recruiter with a letter of application. Once the recruiter has a letter of application or letters of application, she will submit the letters along with the volunteer's resume to the in-country team. After the recruiter submits applications, the assignment status changes to submitted and comes off of My Catalyst Plus. So you will no longer be able to see that assignment. The in-country team receives the applications and shares them with the partner. Finally, the Catalyst Plus advisor is accepted. In this phase, the partner selects the advisor and the in-country team notifies the recruiter of their selection. The recruiter sends an acceptance email to the selected advisor and copies the volunteer services officer and the in-country team on the email. If more than one application was submitted, the recruiter will also notify those who are not selected. The assignment status changes to accepted, and the Catalyst Plus advisor starts working with the volunteer services officer to prepare for their assignment. The volunteer services officers, or VSOs for short, are a very important part of your volunteer journey. They ensure that you are completely prepared for your assignment. Puck will be speaking more about the assignment preparation and expectations in a few minutes. I also wanted to touch briefly on the roles and responsibilities of the in-country team. They are involved during the entire recruitment process. And when we talk about the in-country team, we are referring to the country representative and project officer. They have many responsibilities, but I wanted to highlight just a few. So these include building and maintaining strategic partnerships and/or business relationships with local stakeholders. They lead the assignment design as guided by the program manager and are in line with program strategies. They are available during the recruitment process to answer any questions you may have regarding the assignments and can even assist in organizing a call with you and the partner if this is something you wish in order to discuss the assignment needs in more detail, even before you apply. And that is if you decide to apply. And finally, they oversee logistics and provide care for our volunteers while they are in country to ensure a productive, pleasant, and safe experience. Okay, so moving on, many volunteers ask, how do I land my first assignment? What can I do better? What can I do to better my chances of getting accepted? I'll take you through two important documents which can help you get accepted for an assignment, and these include your resume and letter of application. So let's start first with your resume. So we always encourage our volunteers to use a simple template to ensure your resume is well formatted, clear and concise, and to the point. Many times your resume will be translated for the partner and a Word version is preferred. We encourage you to write your resume and have it be up to date and tailored to the assignment if possible. And we understand that sometimes it's hard to provide a short resume with so many years of work history, but try to limit your resume to 4 pages. max. 2 is what we actually prefer. And if you're unsure of anything, ask a recruiter for assistance to review and make suggestions. And finally, if you are proficient in one or more of the 3 languages we work in, so that's English, French, or Spanish, please specify this on your resume and send a copy of each resume in that language to the recruiter, and we will upload it into your profile. Next is your letter of application. So to help you write a strong letter of application, we provide guidelines for you to follow. Following these guidelines when composing your letter will allow you to craft a well thought out and organized letter. It's important that you demonstrate how you understand the assignment and how your skills and experience can assist the partner. Don't make your letter too long. 1 page is preferred, 2 pages is the maximum. And always indicate your availability. This is really important. And again, if you're stuck, ask the recruiter to provide a sample letter or to make suggestions for improvement. So once those are done and in good shape, we as recruiters look for the following: a good introduction, which is nicely formatted, a sufficient summary of your skills and experience, but again, not too long, and your understanding of the assignment and your plan to assist, which could include things like scheduling an initial meeting, learning about the business, meeting with other stakeholders, or even conducting training. And then finally, again, please indicate your availability. And also, I want to emphasize that, again, that the recruiters are always available to make suggestions, provide feedback, and areas for improvement on both your resume and letters of application if this is something that you want. And so before I pass it over to Puck, I just want to briefly go through this. This is a sample letter of application. It's a letter that I like. So as you can see, the volunteer that provided this letter indicated the assignment number at the very top and then a nice introduction. They followed up with a few paragraphs about their professional experience. So again, concise, to the point, not too long. And then they went into the assignment approach and their availability and how they would assist the partner. So just going back to availability, you can see that this volunteer indicated their availability right into their assignment approach, which is great. And then finally, they ended the letter with a few nice sentences, a nice paragraph, and it mentioned their name, telephone number, and email address. So this is the type of letter that we as recruiters like to see, and it's a really good letter to provide to the partner. So I'm going to pass it over to Puck now, and she will talk to you about assignment preparation, what to expect while on assignment, and CA's expectation and resources available to you.
Hi, everyone, and great that you're here with us today. So as Jennifer mentioned, I will talk a bit about what will happen once you are accepted for an assignment. So the very first thing that will happen is that one of our officers will reach out to you by email, and in most cases, they will schedule a briefing call with you. And this is really a chance to go over the whole preparation process and for you to ask any questions. So the things they'll go over during the briefing call are, first of all, the advisor role. This is really the expectations that we have from you. And I'll touch a bit more on that later in this presentation. Then they'll go through the paperwork to specify exactly what needs to be signed. And at that point, they can also connect you to another Catalyst Plus advisor. Usually this would be someone who has worked with the same partner or maybe in the same country or region. And so we'll ask if you're interested in being connected, and we can arrange that. Then for if there's any in-person component to the assignment, then we'll talk about the trip planning. So that includes travel dates and what itinerary may look like. And then we'll also go through all of the post-assignment paperwork that I'll speak about later as well. So after the briefing call, then there's a number of paperwork that needs to be completed. So first of all, really important is the advisor agreement. And this lays out all the Catalyst Plus policies and responsibilities for a CA, and we ask it to be signed every year. Then any logistical documents, so things like passport, next of kin, we ask to be filled out. And then there's also a couple of other things like some training courses that most volunteers will have finished during the onboarding process with us, but some will need to be repeated, like our course on ethics and workplace harassment. Those we ask to be completed every 5 years. And we also provide a number of resources, so some information on specific countries and regions that we work in. And we send all of these documents through our secure software called File Invite. We will send you a link with your own account, and all of those documents and resources are available in that one account. So we have a nice overview there. Now, if there is an in-person component to the assignment, if you go to an assignment location, whether it's in Canada or abroad, there's a couple of other things we need. So for international assignments, we always need a medical form signed by your doctor. And we also recommend that you visit a travel clinic or your own doctor for advice on any vaccinations that may be needed. Then we will book the flights for you. Before we can do that, we always need to have the criminal record check done and the medical form received. This is for insurance purposes. We work with a travel agency together, and we have very strict funder requirements. So all of our trips are booked, all of our flights are booked through our own travel agency, following our funder guidelines. And then also lastly, for some countries, you'll need a visa. So we ask our advisors to apply yourselves, but we do provide all the information, the correct online link, and if you need any documents, then we will provide those too, and we can support if anything goes wrong. Now, if there's a virtual component to the assignment, then what we do is that we set up a Google Drive folder for each single assignment, and that's a way for you and the partner or client to work on any documents together or share any resources in a secure platform. Then we provide a number of guides. We have a specific guide on how to do virtual assignments with tips and tricks. And we also have some software available that you can use, some accounts that we have. So this includes Zoom, Mentimeter, SurveyMonkey, and then some video editing software like Capwing and Handbrake. And your officer will ask you if you're interested, and we can set that up for you. And then what's also important to do is to set up a meeting plan with the partner. So because virtual logistics are a bit more fluctuating in terms of time, we have a tool called the collaborative strategy. So this is a document that we will provide to you that you can fill out together with the partner. And you can decide together, for example, what kind of platform you'll use. Will you use WhatsApp or Zoom? How often you're meeting, what times you're meeting. And that's going to really help you set up well for a virtual assignment. That's all the logistical practical things. And then parallel to all the logistical preparation, of course, there's a lot of assignment preparation that needs to be done. So for this, we always recommend starting to communicate with a partner or client as soon as you're accepted for an assignment. And this can be either by email or scheduling a preparatory phone call, which we definitely recommend as well. Then we provide this tool, the work plan tool, which is a document again that really dives more into the details and outlines the assignment goals, objectives, and the activities that you're planning on doing. So we can't stress enough how important this is to really set up a clear plan together with a partner that you both agree on. And we found that really the success of an assignment really leans on really good preparation. So, and this is really, the work plan is really key in completing good preparation for the assignment. Any other preparation may include research, drafting documents, or developing training sessions. So that's all part of the assignment preparation. Then again, to specify the role of our in-country teams or regional representatives for our international assignments, they, throughout the preparation, they're there as well to support. So they are also always copied on any communication with a partner. So this means they can help out whether it's defining the assignment objectives or if it's logistical things, they are there to support and they can help out and give their advice because they're so experienced. They are really great support. And then for any, if there's an in-person component, a trip aspect to the assignment, then they will also make any preparation for local logistics in the country. So any hotel bookings, any local flights, if they need to be booked, they will do it, or if they need to provide any documents for the visa. So they are there throughout that whole assignment preparation part of the process. Okay, so we've prepared, we've done all these things. Now it's time for the assignment. So what can you expect when you start the assignment? So many of assignments have an in-person component as well as a virtual component, and they're quite different, those types of assignments. So I'll go through what you can expect for both of those formats. So firstly, for in-person assignments or the trip part. So about the assignment length, this really depends on the program and the country or the region that you work in. For our Indigenous program and our program in the Caribbean, these are usually shorter visits. They can be a couple days or up to 1 to 2 weeks. Whereas for the gender program, we have a minimum of 2 weeks, and this can go up to 4 weeks. So that's kind of the time frame you can expect. We do expect normal work week, 5-day work weeks, and free time on weekends. So we don't expect work on evenings or weekends. Those should be your time to rest and maybe explore a little bit. About the role of the country teams or regional representatives, for international assignments, during the time that you are there, they are your first point of contact. They may not always be at the assignment location, because sometimes they're usually in the capital of the country, but they're always there for you to call if anything is the matter. They also will try and join the entry, the first meeting with the partner, and then the exit meeting, the last meeting with the partner, either in person or virtual. And they will check in with you in between. They will also arrange for any local logistics, like they will arrange for the airport pickup, hotel bookings, and any other travel to the assignment location. So anything you need, if there's anything, they are your first point of contact while you're in the country. Safety and security, really important topic. The safety of our advisors, it really our number one priority while you're in the country. So we do a couple of things to secure this, the safety of you as much as we can. Firstly, our country teams, they closely monitor their situations, not just their own location, but any assignment location. They let us in Canada know if they have any concerns whatsoever, whether there's political unrest or natural disaster, anything, they will let us know right away. They're on the ground, so they have really great knowledge about this. They will check facilities, hotels, and even though the quality may differ from what you are used to in Canada, they will always be checked for security. The other thing that we provide is health insurance coverage. So we have full coverage for out-of-country and emergency medical expenses through our insurance provider called Sutton. The requirement for this is that you have provincial health coverage and the medical form signed by your doctor. In case of emergency situations, we have a whole protocol. Whether you have to see a doctor or there's a natural disaster, volcano eruption, we have a protocol, and our country team will make sure that you are safe at all times. If you have to come back to Canada, we arrange that right away. About the expenses, so all expenses connected to the trip are covered for. That means travel, any meals, any doctor appointments in Canada, or visa costs. We do expect for some of our countries, depending on the program and the country or the region, for the partner client to contribute in some ways. This can be by offering meals or by providing a local driver, for example. And then we have very strict funder requirements from Global Affairs Canada. So we have a strict list of items that are reimbursed, and we do need receipts for everything. Then the last bit, once your assignment is done, also really part of the assignment, even though the work is mostly done, all of the reporting and documents. First of all, the assignment report, really important. This is summarizes all of the work that you've done with the partner, and the document is shared with the partner when it's completed. It's also sent to our monitoring, evaluation, and learning team to evaluate the impact of our programs. Then we do always send an evaluation form for you to fill out, and this is really to receive feedback on our processes. And it's really key for us to receive that feedback to improve our procedures and processes and service. Then timesheet, this is to catch any work that's done before and after the assignment to make sure that we evaluate your work or we catch a lot of work that you do for us. And lastly, expense claim, really important. So for that, we just ask to follow the instructions, ask us if you have any questions, and provide all of the receipts. We provide really clear instructions, so that should hopefully help to fill everything out correctly. What about virtual assignments? Let's take a look. Obviously, very different format. So what can you expect here? Firstly, for the assignment length, it's very flexible. There's not a clear set time frame. So it can be anything from a week, 2 weeks, really intensely working, or 2-3 months, maybe 1 hour a week. It completely depends on what you and the partner client decide on together. Clearly, communication with the partner client is really key. So that means following up quickly with emails, making sure that everyone attends the meetings that you have scheduled, and always keeping the country teams and the regional teams copied to make sure they're included. Because things are more flexible, really key to inform the Catalyst Plus staff. That means us in Canada, and also for our international assignments, our in-country teams on the work progress, and also if the work is fully completed. We need to know what happens, and it's less visible for our virtual work that's done. What can you expect from the country team in this case? Basically the same as for preparation or for in-person assignments or components. They are there to support you throughout the whole assignment. So that means include them on your communication so that they know what's happening. They will also try and be there with some of the meetings, the virtual meetings, and they're there for any troubleshooting. So if you're experiencing any challenges, if you have any concerns, questions, they are so knowledgeable. So they're there to help you and figure things out. A couple of things that are specific to virtual assignments and that we've seen that can be a challenge, and how can you deal with those? First, internet reliability is it's very different depending on the country. Sometimes it depends on the time of day. Internet can be choppy. And what we always encourage or tell people to do is discuss with the partner upfront which platform works best, and maybe to check in with them if there's a certain time of the day that their internet is better, so that you can base your schedule on that. Time zones can be tricky if you are doing a virtual assignment with the Philippines. So again, make really clear agreements on the meeting time. We found that everyone is really, really flexible on this and understanding. So we have people get up really early or stay up really late, and it's really amazing to see how people can make that work, the different time zones. Responsiveness, clearly really key in making the assignment work. Just one thing to remember for this that helps to think of is that to have patience. Some partners, they have very small little capacity. They're not able to respond right away. So just to have patience, and also make clear agreements on turnaround time of emails that can really help to navigate that and prevent frustration. In terms of building trust, sometimes we've seen that might take a bit longer. It's a bit more difficult when not meeting face to face. So again, just making sure to have patience and also to take time to talk about personal things if you sense that that's helpful for the partner. It may take a bit more time for them to trust an advisor and share their sensitive information with you. So just to understand that from their perspective really helps to build that trust. In terms of post-assignment documents, it's pretty much the same. There's no expense claim, but otherwise assignment report is the same. Sometimes you may need two separate ones, one for a virtual component, one for an in-person component. This depends again on the program and the country and on the assignment, but we will let you know if we need one or two. And otherwise, the evaluation is the same, and there will be monthly timesheets. So we will request this from you every first of the month. That's what you can expect from our assignments. And then what is it that we expect from our volunteers, from you? So first of all, we expect a lot of flexibility. So as you are aware, the focus of our work is on the partner's needs. And those will often change in the preparation for the assignment, but also during the course of the assignment sometimes. So having an open mind, being patient and flexible are really key to successful assignment. Then in your role as a mentor, we expect our volunteers to build partner capacity through teaching instead of carrying out the work for the partner or client. Then in terms of conduct, we ask you to sign off the advisor agreement each year, which I talked about before. And this is really to confirm that as a volunteer, you recognize that you're representing Catalyst Plus doing your work with a partner. And that means following our policies and a code of conduct, both on and off assignments. So this counts for in-person components. We expect professional conduct for the whole trip. So that means also weekends and evenings. And then lastly, since we're working with so many different cultures within Canada and abroad, we do expect a really high level of intercultural awareness, as a good intercultural understanding can make or break the work with a partner. So before we round up this presentation, we do have some resources, great resources available to help you throughout this whole volunteer journey. So first, we send a newsletter out every month, and it includes news about our programs, about events such as our biannual town hall, and about training sessions like these. It also contains some success stories, and it will spotlight some advisors. And it will share a link to share your stories with us that we will feature in a newsletter or on social media. Then My Catalyst Plus that Jennifer already talked about, really key in your journey. Not just does it list all of the assignments that are in recruitment, but it also has a resources section, which has really useful templates, such as the resume letter application and the country guides that I talked about before. There's also a notices section where there are announcements, and there's past recordings of meetups or town hall meetings. And lastly, there's an FAQ section, which is answers to lots of common questions, so that might be helpful too. Another great resource is our Catalyst Plus advisors. So apart from connecting you with an advisor who's worked in the same country, we can also connect you in other ways. So we do have our Catalyst Plus club meetings all over Canada, and they are a really great opportunity to meet other advisors if you're not currently doing an assignment. And they're really happy to share their experiences, and you can ask any questions you have. And then lastly, our staff in Canada and in our program countries, we're always available to answer any questions or concerns you might have regarding an assignment. And we're happy to answer any questions by email or schedule a phone call. So that's that. We're through. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope you found it helpful. If you have any other questions, please reach out to us, and we're more than happy to help.